Yankees fans, buckle up because things are heating up in the Bronx, and this offseason might just define the next chapter of this storied franchise. The New York Yankees are standing at a crossroads, and everything from roster decisions to front office strategy is under the microscope. You can feel it in the air. This isn't just another offseason. This is the one where Brian Cashman and the organization have to get it absolutely right. There's no room for hesitation, no time to play it safe. With a championship window that's still open but slowly closing, the Yankees have to find that missing piece that turns potential into dominance. Think about it. You've got Aaron Judge, one of the most complete players in the game, a true icon who embodies what it means to wear pinstripes. You've got Garrett Cole, a Cy Young caliber ace who gives you a chance to win every fifth day. Yet, despite having stars that any team in baseball would kill for, the Yankees have fallen short when it matters most, October. That's when legends are made. That's when names like Derek Jeter, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth wrote their stories in Yankee history. And right now, Judge is chasing that same glory, looking for that first ring that cements his place among those all-time greats. But to get there, the front office can't afford another offseason full of missed opportunities. Reports are already swirling that the Yankees might not pursue Alex Bregman, the all-star third baseman who's set to hit free agency. And honestly, that's raising a few eyebrows. Third base has been a question mark for this team, a position that's been more about patchwork than power. Sure, Ryan McMahon has been solid defensively. No one's questioning that. But when you're in New York, being good with the glove isn't enough. You've got to produce at the plate, deliver in clutch moments, and be someone who can change a game with one swing. The Yankees' struggles at the hot corner have been evident. They tried stopgaps, prospects, and platoons, but nothing has really stuck. When you think about adding someone like Bregman, who's a proven winner, a two-time World Series champion, and a player who's been battle-tested in high-pressure situations, it's hard not to imagine what that presence could do for this lineup. Yet, insiders suggest the Yankees aren't looking to spend big on him. That's a risky stance, especially considering how much a consistent bat at third base could elevate this offense. Now, there's another layer to this. If New York passes on Bregman, that opens the door for other teams, maybe even rivals, to swoop in. The Red Sox, for example, could jump at the chance. And for Yankee fans, that would sting. Bregman has already been a thorn in their side for years with Houston, and the thought of him suiting up in Boston colors would be painful to watch. Ideally, fans would love to see him head to the National League, just to get him out of the way. But baseball has a way of making these storylines even juicier, and you never know how things will play out once the bidding begins. Still, the Yankees can't just sit back. If they're not going for Bregman, they have to look elsewhere, because doing nothing isn't an option. There are other names floating around: Eugenio Suarez, Max Muncy, Paul DeJong. But each comes with their own set of pros and cons. Suarez is popping his bat, but isn't as strong defensively. Muncy might stay with the Dodgers, depending on how they handle his club option. DeJong has potential, but hasn't shown the consistency needed to handle the spotlight of the Bronx. And that's where someone like Kike Hernandez suddenly becomes a fascinating wild card. At first glance, he's not the flashy signing fans might be begging for. His regular season numbers don't scream superstar. He's often hovering around a .220 or .230 batting average. But what makes Kike special is his ability to turn into an absolute monster when the lights are brightest. In October, he transforms. His postseason numbers are ridiculous. We're talking about batting averages well over .400 in some playoff runs, hitting homers, driving in clutch runs, and thriving under pressure like few others do. Remember his 2021 postseason? He was unstoppable. 9 home runs, 20 runs batted in, and a batting average that looked like it came straight out of a video game. Whether it was with Boston or the Dodgers, he has always been that spark plug who ignites the lineup when the games matter most. That's the type of energy the Yankees need. Someone who thrives when others tense up. Someone who can walk into Yankee Stadium in October and say, "I've been here before. I know what this pressure feels like." Because too often in recent years, this team has had the talent, but not the swagger when the postseason arrives. Kike isn't just clutch, he's versatile. He can play all over the diamond: second base, shortstop, outfield, even first or third if you need him. That kind of flexibility is gold for a team like the Yankees, who have dealt with injuries, lineup shuffles, and inconsistent performance. Imagine having someone you can plug in anywhere who not only fills a defensive gap, but also brings that playoff experience and fire into the locker room. That kind of presence is contagious. It lifts everyone around him, from rookies to veterans. This is where the Yankees front office really has to think beyond the numbers on a stat sheet. Building a championship team isn't just about analytics. It's about chemistry, leadership, and guys who rise when the stakes are high. Aaron Judge had a great postseason last year, but he can't do it alone. Baseball isn't a one-man show. You need role players, grinders, and difference makers who can step up in the moments that define a season. And while Kike might not be the long-term franchise cornerstone, he could be the kind of short-term spark that shifts the energy in that clubhouse. The Dodgers have leaned on him during their deep playoff runs, and he's always delivered. If Los Angeles decides to move on and focus elsewhere, New York should be ready to pounce. The Yankees need that mix of grit and confidence again. They need players who walk into the dugout with that belief that no moment is too big. Because right now, the fan base is hungry. They're tired of hearing about potential, tired of hearing about next year. This team hasn't won a championship since 2009, and for an organization built on rings, that drought feels like an eternity. The Bronx expects greatness, and the front office knows it. That's why this offseason can't be business as usual. Brian Cashman has made moves before that looked good on paper, but didn't translate when it mattered. This time, he has to find players who can bring it both in the regular season and the postseason. That balance between production and poise is everything. Whether it's landing a star like Bregman, taking a chance on someone like Hernandez, or finding an under-the-radar signing that just clicks, the Yankees have to hit the mark. Because the truth is, the window won't stay open forever. Garrett Cole is in his prime, but pitchers don't stay dominant forever. Aaron Judge is at the peak of his powers, but every season that passes without a ring is another missed opportunity. The Yankees can't afford to waste these prime years. The clock is ticking, the pressure is mounting, and the Bronx is watching closely to see if this front office has the courage to make bold moves. When you look at the Yankees heading into this offseason, it's impossible not to feel the weight of what's at stake. This isn't just about signing players or filling holes in the lineup. It's about identity. What kind of team do the Yankees want to be? Are they going to chase the same formula that's come up short over and over? Or will they finally embrace the mix of heart, grit, and smart roster building that defines championship clubs? The fans have made it clear. They want urgency, they want attitude, and above all, they want results. The reality is the Yankees can't keep depending solely on the long ball. For too long, this team has lived and died by the home run. When the power is there, they look unstoppable. But when the bats go cold, it's like the entire lineup freezes. That's been the biggest difference between the Yankees and the teams that have knocked them out in recent years. Look at the Astros, the Braves, even the Phillies. These teams find ways to manufacture runs when the home runs aren't flying. They put pressure on pitchers, move runners over, grind out at-bats. That's what wins in October, not just pure power. And that's why adding someone like Kike Hernandez makes so much sense. He's not the guy who's going to hit 50 home runs, but he's the guy who's going to give you competitive at-bats every single time. He'll battle, foul off tough pitches, and when it matters most, he delivers. The Yankees need more of that. They need players who feed off pressure, not crumble under it. Too often lately, when the postseason lights come on, the lineup looks tight. You can see it in their body language. The big swings get bigger, the patience disappears, and suddenly, the game slips away. There's something else about Kike that doesn't show up on a stat sheet, his energy. He brings that infectious confidence that keeps a clubhouse loose. You look back at those great Yankees teams from the late 90s and early 2000s, and they all had guys like that. Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, Scott Brosius, players who might not have been the biggest names of baseball, but they played with an edge. They kept the team grounded and hungry. That's the kind of DNA that's been missing lately. Of course, no move exists in a vacuum. If the Yankees go after someone like Hernandez, they'll have to balance that with other needs. The rotation needs depth, the bullpen could use another arm, and the outfield still feels uncertain beyond Judge. But when you think about constructing a complete roster, versatility is key. Having someone who can cover multiple positions and handle different roles allows you to make other creative moves. It gives you flexibility to deal with injuries, slumps, and those long stretches in the middle of the season when teams are just grinding to stay afloat. It's also about sending a message. The Yankees need to show the league and their own players that they're serious about winning now. Signing a proven postseason performer, even if he's not a superstar, tells everyone that the focus is on building a team that can actually thrive when it matters. Because the truth is, talent isn't the issue in New York. They've had talented rosters for years. The problem has been timing, chemistry, and execution under pressure. Those are the areas where leadership and experience make the difference. Aaron Judge has done everything he could to lead this team. He's not just the captain in title. He's taken that responsibility to heart. You can see the frustration on his face when things don't click. He's carried this lineup through slumps, dealt with injuries, and still put up MVP-level performances. But even the best player needs help. Derek Jeter had it. Bernie Williams had it. Every Yankee dynasty has been built around stars, surrounded by role players who know exactly how to complement them. Right now, Judge needs that support. Guys who can pick up the slack when he's off, who can deliver the big hit in the 7th inning of a playoff game, who can bring the emotion back to this dugout. And speaking of emotion, that's another part of what's been missing in the Bronx. The Yankees have felt robotic at times. Businesslike, professional, yes, but not fiery. There's a difference between confidence and complacency. The energy at Yankee Stadium used to be electric every night, that sense that anything could happen. When teams walked into the Bronx, they felt the pressure, they felt the weight of those pinstripes. That aura has faded a bit, and it's time to bring it back. Players like Kike, with their passion and spark, can help restore that atmosphere. Still, this offseason isn't going to be easy. The free agent market is competitive, and every contender is looking to improve. The Yankees have the resources, but they also have to be strategic. Overpaying the wrong player can set the team back for years, and they've learned that the hard way. But being too conservative can be just as dangerous. You can't win championships by playing not to lose. The key will be finding the right balance, making bold moves that make sense, moves that add value both on the field and in the clubhouse. Fans are restless, and rightfully so. The Yankees brand themselves as the standard of excellence, but excellence isn't about history, it's about now. It's been over 15 years since the last championship, and that's not acceptable for a franchise with this kind of legacy. Every year that passes without a deep playoff run chips away at the mystique that once made them the most feared team in baseball. That's why this offseason feels different. It feels urgent. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whispers are swirling around the Bronx as baseball insiders speculate that one of the game's most powerful sluggers may be donning pinstripes sooner than anyone expected. Pete Alonso, the polar bear whose bat has terrorized National League pitching in New York for years, has reportedly set his sights on a league switch that could shake the foundations of Major League Baseball. Sources close to the situation suggest that Alonso is poised to become the new first baseman for the New York Yankees, sending shockwave through both fan bases and locker rooms alike. Alonso, a homegrown star of the Mets, has been synonymous with towering home runs and electric performances at Citi Field. The thought of him crossing town, trading Queens for the Bronx, was once almost unthinkable. Yet the buzz intensifies as whispers of meetings, behind-the-scenes negotiations, and contract discussions circulate among journalists and insiders. Yankees fans, long accustomed to the rhythmic heartbeat of their own sluggers, could soon witness Alonso patrolling first base, bringing a combination of raw power and charisma that might redefine the Yankees lineup for seasons to come. The potential signing is being treated with cautious optimism in the media. While nothing is confirmed, the narrative practically writes itself. A local hero turns rival, a slugger switching allegiances in the city that never sleeps. If true, This move could ignite one of the fiercest storylines in modern baseball. Alonso, once the pride of Queens, now facing his former home with every swing of the bat. Rumors suggest that Yankees management sees Alonso as the missing piece in a pursuit of another championship, a batter capable of changing the dynamics of a lineup that already boasts elite talent. Meanwhile, Mets fans are bracing for heartbreak. Alonso's departure would mark the end of an era, leaving a gaping hole in the heart of their roster. Social media is already ablaze with speculation, memes, and heated debates over whether Alonso could ever thrive in pinstripes or if the city's baseball loyalties are too entrenched to allow such a crosstown marriage. For now, the story remains a tantalizing rumor, but one with the potential to dominate headlines, trading cards, and conversations for months. Could Pete Alonso really swap teams within New York, or is this just another fevered rumor in the endless theater of baseball gossip? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. If it happens, the Bronx will never look at first base or its sluggers the same way again. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.